Did you discover Marilyn Monroe?
My camera and myself, we have been most influential in her meteoric career. And he came to my sitting into the studio and said, Mr. Bernard, can you take some sexy pictures of me? So I said, all right, we do this. But you are, to me, the girl next door type. She had a peaches and cream complexion. And that is when I took this other picture. This was a pin-up that I took for her. Incidentally, I think she had, it was a two-piece bathing suit, which, believe it or not, was daring at that time.
Many have taken credit for discovering Norma Jean, but according to his daughter, it was Bernard who actually submitted her photos to 20th Century Fox, where she eventually signed a contract and became Marilyn Monroe. While at Fox, she expressed a desire to Bernard to become as famous as one of her idols.
She would say to my dad, you know, one day I'm going to have oodles and oodles of fan mail, just like Betty Grable.
So Bernard took photos of her in Grable-like poses, and she grew to become even more famous than her idol. Bernard did become Marilyn's confidant, like a father figure, Susan says, and therefore was able to get more candid photos of Marilyn, like these on the set of the 1955 film, The 7-Year Itch. At one point, Marilyn even stopped production to acknowledge Bernard.
And she stopped everything in front of the whole crew, and she ran up to him and she embraced him, and she gave him this big hug, and she said, remember, Bernie, everything started with you. And she wrote it down for him. One early morning, he came out of his dentist's office, and there she was walking right across his way. And she was filled with hope, a little plump, you know, dark hair, but there was something very magical about her. And he had done something that he rarely does. He started to follow her, and he simply gave her his card, and he said, Miss, this is professional. I would very much like to take some test shots. She loved it. She knew how to mimic. She was able to, like, take directions like no other model he had ever photographed.
In 1954, Bernard brought his camera to the press conference Marilyn held to announce her divorce from Joe DiMaggio. The scene became chaotic and her frailty all too apparent when the press threw questions at her.
What picture are you working on now?
I'm working on the 7-Year Itch.
That's right.
Because of his friendship with Marilyn, Bernard was able to capture this intimate moment of her pain and agony.
He said he felt that that was the beginning of the end.